This is Driving Solutions, exclusively on CPTnews.com.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining us once again here at CBT News. Farmers, ranchers, and agricultural organizations greatly depend on trucks and other heavy-duty vehicles to do their jobs. Yet many dealers miss out on this crucial customer base entirely. On today's show of Driving Solutions, we're pleased to welcome back Mr. Pat Driscoll. You've seen him here before on CBT News. He is the CEO and president of the Certified Agricultural Group to explain how dealers can capitalize on these opportunities and improve their bottom line. You've seen him here before. We've had these discussions before. For the dealers that have jumped on, congratulations to you. You're already starting to make those profits. But for those of you that are doing a wait and see, this might be the knock and the opportunity that you're looking for here. So pay attention to today's show because it could only make you money. So Pat, thank you so much for taking the time in your schedule to join us once again on the show.
Jim, thank you for having us.
Sure.
And it's always a pleasure talking with you.
Well, the pleasure is all ours. And last time you were on, we got a bunch of comments and a bunch of questions from dealers that said, bring that guy back on. And this is very intriguing. And so I'm looking forward to today's talk. But pickup and big SUV inventories continue, growing at dealers' lots and such. And it's hurting profits for sure. The dealers that I talk to around the country going, it's not 2021 and 2022 anymore, and even some of 2023. We're out there now beating the bushes for every single deal that we can get, and of course, it's hurting our gross profits and net profits. But how does Certified Agriculture Group help both by improving dealers' bottom line and also to get into the agricultural business?
Well, and we're seeing that too and hearing that from dealers too, Jim, and just in broad brush strokes, anecdotally, the fish aren't jumping in the boat anymore.
No, that's a good way to put it.
It's time to start
That's right.
dropping lines back in the
Right.
water and trying to catch those fish, and that's what we help dealers do with this program by focusing on that agricultural segment. Again, just running through some quick numbers, we've talked about this before, but 2 million farms in this country, we know just about 46% of those farms will replace at least one of their trucks annually.
Wow.
You do the math on it, it comes out to just under 1 million trucks a year that agriculture is
Right.
buying. And of those, we know that 60% are new and 40% are pre-owned vehicles. There is no other program in the entire automotive industry that focuses on agriculture. We're the only program.
Wow.
We're farmers and ranchers ourselves.
Yeah.
We know how to speak that language, and with what we do with dealers,
Sure.
we help those dealers speak that language. Single most important thing to the farm customer when they're buying a truck is durability. And that's for the OEMs to duke it out. We've got no
Yeah, for
dog in
sure.
that fight at
Right,
all.
right.
But when you look at the second and third most important thing, second most important thing, they want an agriculturally knowledgeable dealer.
Yeah, totally get that.
They're used to working with tractor dealers, implement dealers, feed, seed,
Right.
feeds, dealers who do nothing but work with farmers.
That's right.
And when they go in to buy a farm truck or a ranch truck and they have to buy it from a minivan sales guy, no offense to the minivan guys.
No, of course
But
not.
it's not the same
It's
as
not the
working
same.
with somebody
Right.
that understands them.
That's
So
right.
we put a big check in that box through our training
Right.
and our ongoing education, because every week we're updating our dealers on the latest things that are happening in agriculture.
Oh, wow, that's
we
cool.
continue
Yeah.
that training.
That's great.
So it's very timely, very relevant. They know how to have the conversation. At the end of every one of our stories, we have an editor's take that contains the sales guidance to that story. Here's why this is important and
Yeah.
how you use it in the conversation.
Nice.
So we convert the knowledge.
Yeah.
Third most important thing is return on investment. It's a tool for us, but we don't want it to be like a hammer where we spend $20 on a hammer, throw it in the drawer, we don't expect anything back out of it. We're spending $80,000 on a truck.
Yeah.
It's more like a combine. We
Yeah.
want to be able to show a return.
Sure.
And what we have is AgPack, and that's the return. Right now, AgPack is worth about $32,000 in farm supply savings.
Wow.
We're getting ready to announce 3 new AgPack partners, which is why you don't see the logoed up shirt this time. we ran out of real estate, so now
There
we're
you go.
going rodeo with our
Sure.
shirts. But that number is going to start creeping up on $45,000.
And explain what ag pack is again for the dealers.
Sure. So AgPack is the value add.
Okay.
We jokingly call it the agricultural hood cash.
Okay.
It's not a discount on the truck,
Okay.
but it's a discount on things that farmers and ranchers buy every day
Okay.
to make their things happen on the farm and ranch. So supplies and services. These are exclusive rebates and discounts. They can't get this anywhere else unless they buy the truck from a certified ag dealer.
Oh, wow. Huge added value.
Huge added value. And that's the condition we put on our AgPack partners. One,
Okay.
it has to be compelling.
Okay.
It has to be something that moves somebody to use that product.
Sure.
Secondly, it has to be exclusive to us.
Okay.
And so that's not going to be anywhere else in the marketplace.
Right.
And farmers will look at that money and
Mm-hmm.
they'll say, well, right out of the chute, there's $5,000 back on Michelin tractor tires and implement tires.
Wow.
and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's $2,000 back on fertilizer. There's chemicals. There's lubricants. All these things that I use anyway.
Right.
I add all that up. I buy that truck from this guy. I'm immediately going to get $15,000 back that I can think of
That's right.
now.
Right.
That's just as good as, and I'll put that up against any incentive any day.
Sure, no question.
That an OEM
and
is
it
gonna
gives
put out
that
there.
dealer in that market that upper hand against its competition. If that farmer's going to another dealer or calling another dealer, going online, and they don't have that logo on there that says we're an ag a certified company, then they're not going to get that.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, this is only available through a certified ag dealer.
Right.
And then we've got Ag Truck Trader, of course.
Right.
Ag Truck Trader, the only dealers on Ag Truck Trader
love
are
it.
certified agriculture dealers.
Yeah, it's great.
And that's a benefit to being in the program. We don't
Sure.
charge those dealers to be on Ag Truck Trader.
Okay.
So let's just get that misconception out of here right now.
Right.
That's just a benefit of being in the program.
It's a big benefit.
It is.
Because if you're a farmer and you have access to that, and you're going to check out the dealerships that you're going to go to, and bingo, here's Mr. Bob Johnson's Ford or what have you. There may be a Bob Johnson Ford, I don't know, but a Bob Johnson Ford, I'm going to go there because of the fact that it's a certified agricultural company, right?
And in all of our national marketing and advertising that we do, we push people to Ag Truck Trader.
Right.
You don't have to scrape the internet to find your ag dealer. They're right there, and you
Nice.
can look at the inventory of, and it's all filtered. So the only inventory that shows up on Ag Truck Trader is AgPack eligible inventory.
Oh, nice.
So so those syndications, we work with those syndicators
Okay.
to set that up so it filters everything out. So you can look at the inventory of all certified ag dealers in
Right.
one spot.
Nice.
The AgPack eligible inventory. You can get your AgPack ID number right there that's good at any dealer in the country.
Okay.
You do your deal, you give the dealer your AgPack ID number, you get your AgPack. That comes back to our system.
Wow, that's great.
Everybody's talking about humanized, getting rid of automation,
Yeah.
making it a personal experience, a whole experience again.
Sure.
We've been doing it for years with our AgPack redemption process.
Okay.
It's a personal phone call from a real live human being saying,
Imagine
let,
that.
let me help you with this stuff. And then they even give that customer ownership in the experience by saying, now all of these benefits are good for a year. Let's set up a call schedule
Yeah.
so you don't have to remember you've got AgPack. I'll call you back and remind you, and because we use different products at different times of the
Okay,
year.
yeah,
So
sure.
so our specialist will say, you're not buying fertilizer right now. We know that.
Sure.
How about if we call you back
Right.
during the period of time we know you're buying fertilizer, remind you you've got this benefit to use yet.
Right.
So it's a very humanized process.
That's a fantastic deal. Speaking of seasonal situations with farmers, last time you were in, you mentioned the fact that even the financing is different because of the fact that they will go to market with their items and their products and get a whole bunch of money at one point in time. Talk to me about that.
So we've rolled out and have launched CADFi, which
Okay.
is Certified Ag Dealer Financing.
Okay.
We're in stage 1 right now. Stage 2 is coming very soon. Stage 2 is going to be a version of CADFi that dealers can activate right in their F&I department.
Okay.
So it's something they'll be able to use right off their desk. Right now, a farmer can use CADFi through the website.
Okay.
Ag Truck Trader. But what CADFi does is it gives them financing options on that truck that they're used to having on all of their other agricultural equipment. Your cattle producers out there typically like a twice a year payment on everything because
Okay.
they've got 2 calf crops and they like to pay out of the calf crops. Your corn and soybean guys.
These are things dealers would never think of in a million
Never
years,
think
right?
of.
And if you're offering this to a farmer, they're like, okay, I found the dealership.
Yeah, well, and if you walk into a dealership under any other circumstance and say, I'd like a twice a year payment on that truck,
They tell you you're crazy.
you're going to get laughed out of the store.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's not even an option.
So we've got 3 national lenders that are providing the horsepower behind CADFi,
Okay.
and now growers can get payment terms on the truck that match the income
Wow.
revenue or
That's-
the
that's-
revenue stream of the farm or ranch.
That's pretty cool. That's got to
It
help
is.
move a lot of vehicles for sure.
It is. It's not been up real long.
Yeah.
We ran into some delays, but
Okay.
we're working with Terry Shabesta, which I
Okay.
know is a name that a lot of folks in the industry know.
Sure.
Terry's been instrumental in helping us put all this together, and he's got it all wrangled, and
Yeah.
we're live now.
So let's drill down a little bit, if we can, Pat, and talk to us when a dealer signs on with your group. What is it that you're doing? Are you training the entire staff? Do you pick one or two individuals to handle this business, much the way you might a fleet company or a fleet associate or a leasing person or what have you? Talk to us about that.
No, and that's a great, and I really appreciate that question,
Yeah.
Jim, because we can dispel a lot of myths here
Yeah,
too.
sure.
Most dealerships, when they look at our program, will see us number one as a commercial program.
Okay.
And they'll direct it right toward the commercial part of the dealership.
Yeah.
But what we know is 72% of farmers and ranchers don't identify as a commercial customer.
Okay.
So that's a big chunk of business we're missing if we're not on the retail floor.
Right.
What we do is we do have upfront training.
Mm-hmm.
We encourage that dealership to have a point person, ideally in commercial and retail.
Okay.
Because those two departments don't always
That's right.
communicate.
That's right.
So have at least one point person, but go deep in your sales staff. We also require at least one person each from parts and service
Okay.
to go through the training as well. And that's so that no matter where that ag customer touches
Yeah.
the store, they've
Yeah.
got at least one go-to ag person.
Okay. Okay.
Again, second most important thing they want is an agriculturally knowledgeable dealership.
Right. Right.
So let's give it to them across the spectrum,
Of course.
that whole experience.
Sure.
But that's what we do. And then the ongoing education that we had mentioned. So there's the upfront training,
Mm-hmm.
which is really sales focused. We dive into some of the nuances of agriculture
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot, but we try not to get too deep. We know how inundated dealers are with training.
Sure.
We don't want to take any more time than we have to.
Okay.
But we do offer deeper training, kind of a 201, 301 level training if you want to go from an ag specialist to an ag expert.
Okay.
That gets deep into the ag situation. But then we have ongoing training through our agriculture intelligence report.
Okay.
Once a week, goes out to everybody that's been through the,
Okay.
the initial training and provides that current, that real-time evaluation of what goes on in agriculture, how it impacts your customers, and how to convert that into sales.
Sure. The neat part about the farming industry too is that it's such a close knit group of business people that if I'm a farmer and I had this great experience at a dealership and they understood my needs as a farmer and it was a great experience and I got the ag pack, I'm going to be telling that at the next association meeting, right? I'm going to be telling it to my neighbor that has the farm next door to me, right? And they have a need for 3 or 4 trucks.
When I run down to the coffee shop
Right.
in the morning,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell all the other guys,
Exactly.
you wouldn't believe this deal that I just got.
Yeah.
The livestock barn, wherever it might be,
Right.
yeah, it does spread.
Sure.
And you know, one of our biggest challenges, I keep a list of our 3 biggest challenges taped to my computer.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 on that list, too good to be true.
Too good to be true.
Seriously.
How do we overcome that?
One of the biggest challenges
Isn't
we
that
have
funny?
is farmers go, this is too good to be true.
Right.
And so we rely heavily
Yeah,
on
what's the
customers.
catch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the catch?
Is the car going to cost me more than if I went down
It does
next
not.
door? Right. In fact, the perception it would be that they're going to get a better deal, really, than if they went down the road. But it's just that having that knowledge of the farming industry and catering, having somebody in the dealership catering specific to that industry can be huge for a dealer group.
It is very important to that ag customer to be friendly and knowledgeable of what their needs are. They are very unique.
Sure. I would imagine in some areas of the country where dealers really run with this program, it's probably made up of 2, 3, 4 people, and it's a whole department. And if that farmer, in an area where you've got just a plethora of farms, you know what I mean, which is not every county in the country, but that could be a whole side business onto itself, right?
We've got a couple of stores in the country that have taken this to a level where
I could see that.
where it's like they've got agriculture people that do nothing but agriculture business.
Right.
We've got I think we've talked about Victory Motors up in Craig, Colorado,
That's
Northwest
right.
Colorado, which there's not a lot up there other than ranches. And they're our number 1 ag pack punch store in the country.
Wow.
They've perfected the process. But then we've got folks like Bridget Reinberger with Gordon CDJR in Ohio and in a different part of the state, Buds and whatnot, that have really taken this thing to a level.
Right.
In fact, Bridget's created an agricultural mascot that's featured in all of her advertising and marketing to get that word out there.
Wow.
So,
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
How do dealers determine how many farms or ranches are in their particular home county, wherever they're doing business.
Call us or come and see us at NADA.
Okay, good. No, I mean, it's as simple as that, right?
It
because
is.
sometimes, I mean, dealers, oftentimes, we talked about it earlier, and even in the last show, they don't know how many there may be in their specific county. So dealers that are listening, you might be passing up on hundreds of thousands of dollars in gross profit and business overall by not addressing this business that you think, oh, well, how many farms are in my area? And then when you spend some time, with Pat and his team, you come to find that there is a lot of farms in your area. You just didn't know about them because maybe you're not a farmer and you're not in that particular industry. But this is a huge opportunity for you to really learn about what might be right around the corner in the way of business. And I know this is something that we talked about last time that you were in too, and that is that with every truck and every farmer, there's also a car in the house. I mean, the family car, right? That if that farmer feels comfortable doing business with the trucks that are going to be servicing the farm, and then they need a minivan, and then they need the vehicle, or they need some other type of SUV or what have you. They're coming back to that dealership.
They're going to come back to that store,
right?
And they won't get AgPack and some of those other products.
Sure.
AgPack goes with the trucks and the big SUVs, anything basically.
But you get the business.
But you get the business,
right?
And you're going to get all the service business that's tied to that, and all the parts business. And
that's
again, we break things on the farm.
I would imagine
you're going to get residual business for fixed ops.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Yeah, we didn't even really touch on that, but that can be just a huge part of this.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Yeah, the fixed ops piece is so grossly underestimated sometimes with what agriculture does. But think about what those trucks go through on a daily basis.
Yeah,
they're bouncing around through dead furrows out in the fields, and I mean it is a tool for us. It is a mechanism of doing our business, and our business is not an easy business physically.
Yeah.
It beats us up. It beats our equipment up,
Sure.
and we have to fix that stuff all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Or if it's not fixable, replace it.
It's even better. You guys are always, got a lot of things going on at the booth, including, I think, some special guest appearances this year in Vegas. Talk to us about that.
We do. Since we last talked, we have rolled out our professional rodeo team.
Okay.
Which is, again, what we're celebrating here with our new apparel.
Yeah.
But Leighton Berry finished at NFR the 6th ranked bareback rider in the world. Jordan Johalabaugh, our breakaway roper.
Wow.
She's ranked, I think, number 2 in the world right now.
Gosh. So that's pretty cool.
Clayton Sellers, our bull rider. I mean, so a lot of exciting things there. We do have a conflict with a rodeo in there, so we're hoping to rotate some of our team members in and out of NADA while they're also competing down in Texas.
Okay.
But Easton Corbin, country music star,
Easton
Corbin is going to be with us for the first 2 days in our booth, because we're working with Easton on some really cool projects.
Okay.
Everything that we're doing with these folks, with the rodeo team, we seeded a charity fund, and we've gone to our AgPack partners, and they've put additional money in. We've set up an affiliate situation where when people use an AgPack ID number that they got from the rodeo team's QR code, a certain percentage of that checks off and goes into their charity fund. And at Ag Rally, our big event, the rodeo team will have worked together to have identified one or more charities that they're going to give this money to in the rodeo community. So we really want this to be about a family kind of a scenario where these are our family. Same with Easton Corbin. He's going to be there talking with dealers because we're going to be doing a concert series with Easton this year. Very cool. We're going to be doing it tied to certified ag dealers. We're going to have a mobile trailer that's a stage trailer. We're going to do these shows on farms. Very cool. And we're going to have local certified ag dealers as our host dealers. They're going to be tied to these shows. Oh, wow, that'd be great. And the whole point behind this is farmers and ranchers actually are one of the highest in terms of suicide. Really? We have terrible mental wellness. It's left unchecked in agriculture. And I know for a lot of categories, this is becoming more and more. But in agriculture, we're the rugged individualists. It's not easy for us to admit or to talk about that we have these challenges. And so our suicide rates are very high. And so what we're doing with Easton is, and Easton comes from a farm. He grew up showing cattle, raising. He was FFA and 4-H and all these things. And so we're doing a Man of the Dirt tour with Easton Corbin. He's going to be there to talk with dealers at NADA
Fantastic,
about
yeah.
being ag dealers and being tied to this concert series.
Yeah.
Because out of this concert series, we're going to be finding local stories about rural mental wellness unchecked.
Okay.
The problems that that's caused, but then triumphs that come
Yeah.
from that, and embracing that we can talk about this. It's going to turn into a 52-week series.
Okay.
That comes out of Easton's concerts that we run on RFD TV and the Cowboy Channel to
That's
help
fantastic.
agriculture deal with
Wow,
this
that's
more.
great work. That is really
So
cool.
Easton's going to be there for 2 days.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And
Yeah.
everybody's going to have a chance to meet him, hang out with him,
Yeah.
and take pictures, whatever they want. He's going to have his guitar there. He'll be strumming along and whatnot if there's any lulls, and it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Your booth always is a lot of fun, and so for dealers that are out there, put these guys on your short list. This is certainly something that you can look at as completely found business. You don't have to buy different inventories. You don't have to do any major advertising. In fact, the advertising really through their portal already is an added value to you. If you want to get into this agricultural business and pick up on this and sell your trucks and equipment and service and parts to this industry, these guys are the only ones out there doing it. So do yourself a favor and your dealership a favor and your bottom line a favor. Get out to this booth and find out more about it. And Pat's a great guy, as you can see. You've seen him here before on CBT News, but now's the time. Make it, get him right on your short list at NADA if you're going out there. If you're not going out there, check him out online. We'll put all the information right here. And but really, this is something that you need to take a close look at in 2024, especially as we see gross profits starting to come back down. You're looking for other ways to make money. This is a #1 place to start. So Pat Driscoll, CEO and President of Certified Agriculture Group, thank you so much for joining us.
Jim,
Really
as always, thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching Driving Solutions, exclusively on CPTnews.com.